My wife demanded we swap partners with her best friend, so I went along with it. My wife Stephanie waited until we were eating dessert at Cassie and Paul's house to drop this on me. We should swap partners every Thursday, she said, and I literally watched her put her hand on Paul's thigh under the table. I saw it. Cassie saw it too, and her face went blank. What? I asked because I honestly thought I heard her wrong. Partner swapping. We date each other's spouses. She said it like she was talking about switching cars for the weekend. Paul kept staring at his plate and wouldn't make eye contact with me. It's already decided, Stephanie said. Thursday nights. You take Cassie out, Paul takes me. I felt my chest get tight. When did they decide this without me? This is insane, I told her. Then she leaned in close and whispered, room 237. Last Tuesday when you were at work. My whole body went numb. She was telling me she'd already cheated and now wanted my permission to keep doing it. So? Are you in or not? She asked louder. I looked at Cassie and she was crying without making any sound. Fine, I said. Let's swap partners. Stephanie smiled like she'd just won something. But then I noticed Cassie had stopped crying completely. That should have told me something right there. When the first date night came around, Stephanie spent forever getting ready. She put on this red dress I'd never seen before that she'd been hiding in our closet. Paul's car was already running in our driveway when I left. I brought Cassie white roses because I remembered she mentioned liking them once. Her hands shook when she took them. Paul never, she started, then stopped. At dinner she pushed her food around and barely ate anything. You okay? I asked. Paul's been different, she said quietly. For months. Even before. Then she stopped talking again. I reached over and touched her hand. Before what? Nothing. Forget I said anything. But then her phone lit up with Stephanie's name, and she turned it face down immediately. When I got home that night, Stephanie was already there. Her hair was all messed up and her lipstick was smeared on the wrong side of her mouth. How was Cassie? Good. How was Paul? Then she started telling me everything they did. The hotel room, the balcony, what they did against the wall. She kept getting louder with each detail. Stop, I told her. Why? Don't you want to know? No. Her face got all twisted up. Well, I'm telling you anyway. She kept going with more details while I pulled out my phone and texted Cassie. Thank you for a lovely evening. Stephanie saw my screen and threw her wine glass at the wall. It shattered everywhere, and I just stood there looking at her. The next week, I had to pick Cassie up because her car broke down out of nowhere. Paul was supposed to drive me, she said, looking confused. He forgot. At dinner, she had way too much wine. Can I tell you something? She asked, and her eyes looked glassy. Tuesday afternoons. That's when it started. My heart started racing. What started? She covered her mouth with her hand. Nothing. Forget it. But Tuesday was when Stephanie had mentioned the hotel, and we both knew what she meant. Then we had to go to Stephanie's parents' house for dinner. Stephanie showed up late, and I could smell Paul's cologne all over her clothes. Her mom noticed it right away, and her face changed. Is that men's cologne? The whole table went quiet. We're sharing partners with Cassie and Paul, I said. Every week. Her dad dropped his fork and it made this loud sound. Sharing? Taking turns dating each other's spouses. Stephanie's idea. Her mom stood up from the table. In my house? She said, and her voice was shaking. Stephanie tried to explain, but everyone had already smelled the cologne and knew what was happening. That night, Cassie called me. I know about Tuesday afternoons. I felt sick to my stomach. What about them? I followed Paul once, 4 months ago, to the hotel. She sounded drunk. I saw everything. By week 5, everything fell apart. It was Cassie's birthday and I threw her a surprise party. I made a video of all her artwork and gave this speech about how talented and kind she was. Paul forgot it was her birthday completely. I watched Stephanie watch Cassie cry happy tears and hold on to me like she didn't want to let go. That night, Stephanie came home from Paul's and started telling me what they did in graphic detail again. Stop. I don't want to hear it. She got mad. But I'm telling you everything. I didn't ask. Then she demanded to know what Cassie and I did together. We talked, I told her. Talked? She's going through a lot. Paul's been distant for months. I watched Stephanie's face change when she realized her best friend was falling for me while she was throwing away our marriage for physical intimacy. The next morning, Stephanie was shaking. We're stopping this immediately. I showed her my phone with all these screenshots Cassie had sent me. 4 months of text messages between Stephanie and Paul, including ones from before she ever mentioned swapping. Cassie's known the whole time, I told her. She wanted to see if you'd confess. Stephanie's face went completely white. She's filing for divorce. I am too.